Another good friend of ours, Ken Munro, he was also an ex-Scottish Regiment lad, but we were on guard duty and we had a young lad that had come straight in from civvy life, Jack Crago. Now I've met him since and he's known as John Crago. But the three of us were on guard duty at the main gate at Pierce, which is quite an important position to hold, to be a guard on the main gate and salute everyone that came through. But you also had to go out and present arms when the flag was lowered at sunset in front of the main castle. But the particular night I'm thinking of was that there was going to be a very good film at the cinema that night. We wanted to go, so Ken Munro, John Crago and myself asked the flight sergeant in charge, could we go to the pictures instead of saluting the flag? This is a man of horror so far as would we dare desert the spot and not salute the flag. No, the flight sergeant would not let us go to the pictures that particular night. So we were left behind and off went the flight sergeant to go to the pictures. We duly saluted the flag and all the rest of it. We had a little bit of confab and thought, why not go to the pictures anyway? So off we toddled, left our post on the main gate and went down to the cinema. And of course in those days there was a newsreels to start with and interval, and then the main film came on. We came in the middle of the newsreels, walked in, made our seats, and then of course interval came up, and who should we be sitting next to but Flight Sergeant Blackburn. We were immediately placed under arrest, marched out of the theatre feeling as big as threepence, all the way back to the guardhouse and got lectured for the next hour and a half, which meant Flight Sergeant Blackburn missed seeing the film, so did we, and Ken Munro, of the three of us, he was the only one to get punished because he would keep arguing with Flight Sergeant Blackburn that no one really invaded Pierce at that time anyway.
So how much older would he have been?
Blackburn would have been probably in his, could have been 40 I suppose. 40.
Okay,
He was a flight sergeant in a mustering like a drill instructor or a guard. He would have had to work hard to earn his flight sergeant's stripes.
So you guys were pretty scared at the time?
Oh, at that stage, being AC2s, that's the lowest rank in the Air Force. Low, isn't it really? Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were held in very high regard by the powers to be at that stage. You had to do as you were told.
So he didn't think twice about arresting you in a full theatre?
No, he knew what he could do, and that was, we were arrested. We were deserting the post, my God. It had been really like being caught asleep on sentry duty. It was bad as that in his eyes.
Okay.
So we were naughty boys, really. We shouldn't have gone to the pictures. So we missed the pictures anyway, so what the heck.
Serves you right.
Yeah. So these were some of the things that we did. I dare mention our poor old flights out for Corporal weeks.
When the gunner reported somebody on their tail or preparing to get on your tail, he'd give a rolling commentary so you'd be ready for it. And he'd say corkscrew port or corkscrew starboard.
He cooked it into them.
So you dive down, you just stuck the stick down, turned, so he doesn't get a straight
Good shot at
at
you, give him maximum deflection.
So, and then when you get down a bit lower and you're still there, you go back the other way. So you do this a couple of times until your arms fell off.
Yeah. Climb again.
So in a Halifax, that'd be a fairly violent manoeuvre, wouldn't it?
It was, oh yeah. The navigator used to love it because all his gear went everywhere.
Yeah, I could have.
Yes, well,
But
they had a toilet facility on board and it didn't do that facility.
Much good.
that was always, I better not put this on tape because that was always, if anyone had to go and use the toilet, which meant they were in flying gear, they first had to disrobe to sit down and do anything.
Yeah.
And the idea was that when's he on the toilet, because once he got on it,
Corkscrew.
we give him a cook and he had to hold onto the seat.
It was a tough war.
We only did that on training flights.
But I was surprised that the Spitz couldn't stay with me.
Mm.
And,
Well, I think they almost practiced to give it away, but I think the Hurricane used to take it as a bit of a...
he'd stay there all day if you let him.
Because the Mozzies were, I don't know, they never followed me much, but the Mozzie, well, he couldn't see really. Most of them did it at night with them because they wanted to practice at night. But we used to practice at Great Massingham, which was a station nearby, which was another 100 group one. They were the Intruders. Keith Miller was, he was on, I think it was 155, I don't know, I've forgotten the number now. But I was at Great Massingham because, well, you go there and all of a sudden they haven't got a Mozzie ready, so you'd land and wait till they got them ready and then you'd go up and have another go. But waiting, and Keith Miller had come back from a trip, and one of his, I think it was not a bomb, what do they call the drop tank?
Right.
One of his drop tanks had stuck on, and it was a napalm, and he had. And of course, I think with a matter of interest, you sort of watch someone else landing. Of course, someone said, "Oh, that's Keith Miller coming in." And I knew him as a cricketer. That's about all.
Yeah.
And as he touched down, the drop tank fell off, and it's bouncing along underneath him. And obviously, the Taz had better get moving. It's come off now. It's underneath him. Of course, next minute he opened up and she off like a rocket, the Mozzie. But then the napalm went off, and we were standing probably, I don't know how far back the one may be from the control who was there, but a good couple of hundred, yeah. But the heat
From
from
there.
that was
Yeah.
shocking. God knows what it was like when it hit the ground and all.
Yeah.
But that was enough there that you wouldn't mess around with those.
Mm.